Hello, my friends. Hello, hello, my friends. Be sure you say hello to Uncle Glenn so I know you're here. This is our third live here. I hear the Poochie. Oh, we got a few people on. Hey, Scott. Hello, Scott. Jibby. Carrie Sue. Oh, yeah. There we go. There we go. Now I'm feeling good. I got a couple of our friends here. Who else do we have on here? All right. Hey, Carrie Sue, good afternoon. Good afternoon to you. Yes. Oh, wait a minute. I got to go get my Poochie. Hold on a minute. I got to let him out. I'm coming back. I'm coming back. Don't run away. Hold on. Hey. What are you doing? Wait. I got to put him in the house. Unbelievable. As soon as we start, get. Go, 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 go. Okay, no. Go. Let's go. Let's go. Go. Go, 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 go. Come on. Let's go. Come say hello to the family. Come on. Come on. Let's go. 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 I had to rescue him. I'm on the live here and he ran out. I had the door open. He ran inside. Hello. I'm sorry. Hey, the third live on YouTube, and I actually got this right, where I think we got it horizontal now, the way it's supposed to be. All right. And the doggy, I had to chase him. So I'm glad you guys are here. All right. So I'm Uncle Glenn. Let me just introduce myself. If anybody that is new here, okay, I'm Uncle Glenn, and this is Farm to Table to Soul, okay? And let me just explain what that is all about. The farm part is not some big farm with acres and acres of property with chickens and goats and cows. I am just on the outskirts of New York City, on a main road. So while I'm on this live, don't be surprised if you hear sirens, motorcycles, police cars, people beeping horns. I mean, this is where I live. But when I come here, this is my place of solitude. And I just love, to get my hands in the soil. I've been doing it since I was a little boy, and I look forward to this time of year. So this is our second season of Farm to Table to Soul. We started last year in May, and on a different platform, I had less than 200 family members or followers. We just crossed over 38,000, all right? And that's because of all of you. And now here we are on a new platform, building our new family. So if you're new here, hit that subscribe button and take your seat at our table. So the farm part is just my garden. It's just this little piece of property that I have that I come down. I have my coffee. Today we were earlier on a live on the other platform, and we did some tilling of the soil. All right, I'll just turn you around a little bit so you can kind of see. That's basically my garden, okay? And it's, we got some good produce out of this. All right, last year we had an enormous harvest. And what we do, the farm part is this garden. The table part is when we harvest from here and we bring it up to my humble little kitchen and we cook together. And then the soul part, well, that's the best part, because that's when we harvest from the garden, we go upstairs to the kitchen and cook, and then we sit down and we share a meal with family and friends. That's what Farm to Table to Soul is. And we are now in season 2. And what we did this year, I wanted to start everybody right from the ground up. And so we started with the cleanup and the turning of the soil. that we did with a rototiller that I purchased. We added some peat moss, some cow manure, and I mix it all into the soil. So I am actually done prepping my soil for this growing season. However, we're not done, and we're not ready to start planting yet. Because what we did, we started our plants from seed this year, okay? And we used something that a lot of people don't use. And Uncle Glenn used some chamomile tea, okay? I take a chamomile tea bag, all right? I put one bag and I brew some water, brew some tea. I let this cool down. Now this is going to be the bath for my seeds, all right? What I do is I take the seeds and I put them in here and I let them rest in here for about an hour and a half. Then, once they've rested in here and they soften up, that's when I plant them, all right? And what does that do? Why chamomile tea? Does anybody know? Well, I'm gonna have a sip of coffee and I'm just gonna tell you, all right? The chamomile tea works in two ways. The first thing it does is it takes the seed and all seed has a coating around it, all right? So when you when you plant the seed, that's not actually what grows. It's what's inside that seed coating. So we soften the seed coating up to enhance and to increase the pace of the germination of that seed. All right, so the chamomile tea works to help as a softener on the seed coating. The second thing it does, which is even more important, it works as an antifungal. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, an antifungal is when you put your seed, your brand new seed, in the soil, okay? Even though the soil comes out of a bag or you took it from the ground, it sometimes still has bacteria or a fungus in it. And as a brand new germinating seed, it sometimes will sprout and die because of a fungus or bacteria. So the chamomile tea works almost like an antifungal and an antibiotic for that little seed. It's very mild, but it works. And it helps for your plant to germinate properly and to grow. And to show you, we did all of these right here with this process, okay? Now, I used this year, I used a seed pack, a cell pack. Now, I bought them in the store. I've never really grown anything from seed to my garden. But after seeing the prices that I spent last year, each plant was $4. Now each plant is almost $6. All right? I decided I'm going to do this from seed. And so I bought these little seed pellets that you add some water to it, and it grows to be about that size. And you put your seed inside until it germinates. Once it germinates and it grows, it's going to give you a root system in here. Now, you could technically take this and put this in the ground, but I don't do that. I want it to really have a good, strong root system. So what I do is once it gets to about this size or a little bit bigger, I transplant it into a biodegradable cup. And look at the roots that are coming through this already. This is what you can plant directly into your ground. All right? But I even went a step further this year. And let me show you what I did. Did I bring it? Or did I not? No, I didn't. But I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. I am taking these from here. We're going to be putting them in here today. From here, because these are not ready to plant in the ground yet, for two reasons. Number one, I just treated my soil with fertilizer and with some cow manure. It's too strong for these baby plants. That's one reason. The second reason is it's too cold. The temperature has to have a consistent temperature to it so that it doesn't put these in shock. So I'm probably going to wait until the first new moon of April or May, which I believe is the beginning of May. And in that cycle, which is either 3 days before or 3 days after, I'm going to put my plants in the ground. Okay? So I'm going to take these now, and what we're going to do, we're going to put some soil in here, and we're going to put these in here, and we're going to let these grow in here. And then in about 2 weeks, that root system will be so strong that I will dig a hole in my garden, take it out, and put that right into the ground. And I am going to have plants that have a good start on this harvest season. Okay? So that's my plan. So today, first thing I would like to do is say hello to you and have a sip of coffee. All right? How many of you on here now have been with Uncle Glenn on the other platform? Has anybody here been on the other platform with me? That's all right. Hey, Vicky. Hello, Vicky. Carrie Sue. Jibby. Yeah. Jay Ribby. I keep calling you Jibby. Yes, Robert. Yes. Oh, good. Irene. Yes. I see you guys. So, first of all, it's so nice having some of your family members here. And I really, really would ask you to engage with me on here like we do on the other place. So we're going to start today. I want to start, someone asked me yesterday when we were on here, whether or not it's too late to start seed. And my answer to them is, depending on where you are, I'm in the Northeast. I'm in New York. So it would take about 10 days to germinate your seed. And these right here are about 2 months old. So this being mid-April, if you started your seed, okay, you got about 6 weeks before you're going to be able to plant it. 6 weeks is going to take you into June, which is fine, no matter what you're planting, except for things like broccoli, lettuce, spinach, Swiss chard, escarole, things like that that are more cool temperatured vegetables. So those you could have put in the ground in the end of February, all right, and they would have no problem. But if you're going to just start planting them in the beginning of the summer, they're going to grow really, really quick, and it's probably not the ideal temperature for those cooler growing vegetables. But it's fine for cucumbers, tomatoes, your squash, your string beans, any kind of eggplant, or any kind of flowers, annuals, or your herbs, no problem. Okay? So I wanted to answer that as best I could. I am not an agriculturist. I never went to school for this. I'm not a farmer. I'm not a chef. I'm just a regular guy that loves hanging out with the family. And I'm just sharing with you what I have learned by trial and error. And that's it. Okay? So before we do anything else, Let me have another sip of coffee, and we're going to put our seeds in our chamomile tea. All right? Now, this is the tea that I brewed. It's cooled down now. I used chamomile tea, 1 bag, and I brewed a tea bath. I'm going to use this for my seeds. Those seeds are going to soften, and they're going to have an antifungal barrier around them when they germinate. Okay? Hey, if you guys like what you're seeing, let's hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button for me, would you? So this way I can see. All right? I know yesterday we even had hearts going here, and we had, I was thrilled. And I'm really just happy no matter who's on here, I'm really, really happy you're here. All right, so I'm going to take some of this. I got a second container, and I'm pouring some tea in here. All right? I'm going to take, I have a bunch of basil, but I never have enough basil because I companion plant. All right? So basil is very, very good for your tomatoes, your cucumbers, your squash. It works terrific. Santo in the house. Yes. Yes. All right. So we're going to take this pack right here, and I'm going to soak those in there. This is a sweet basil mix right here. All right. Now I have some other basil, which was German basil, just a little bit different. Okay. But now we're going to take these seeds, and one of the things you're going to find, I'm going to take them, I'm putting them all in here. All right, all of them. Okay, look at them. This is your basil seeds. Okay, not many, but look. Okay, now these are going to soak for about an hour and a half. All right, now when an hour and a half goes by, I want you to see, I'm going to take 1 or 2 of these out right now so you can see the difference on the seed coating. This is the seed that I just put in. These are going to almost look like they have an embryo around it because the seed casing that protects the actual seed is going to soften and expand. Any seeds that are on the top floating, in an hour from now, I will discard. And the reason I'll discard them is because they will probably not germinate. So any of your seeds that germinate, that float, there's a good chance they're not going to germinate. And that's another thing that floating them in your tea does. All right? So we're going to leave that like that on the side. Okay? I'm going to take those 2 seeds so I can show you the difference later and put them on here. It's going to show you how they actually germinate and how it softens that seed casing. Come on now, come off my finger. All right. Oh. Okay. Hey, baby. Hello. All right. Hello. And say hello to family. All right. It's a brand new pup. My son got him at a rescue. And he's probably the funniest looking dog of the bunch, but turns out to be one of the sweetest. So, all right. I'm going to put this aside. All right. And we have our seeds, which if you're able to see, they're already starting to get the seed coating on there is already softening. I don't know if you can see it on here, but you'll see them. All right? And these are going to germinate very, very quickly. All right? So put that one aside. I'm going to take another one, putting some chamomile tea in here. Okay? And I have some chives. Okay? This is chives. I'm putting some chives in here. Going to do the same thing. I just want to pull a couple out so we can kind of see the difference. I'll show you. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay, good. And then I have some marigolds that I'm going to be planting. I'm probably going to use a seed pack like this. I'm going to use one for the chives, one for the basil, and then I'm going to start from seed my marigolds. All right. I'm not doing all of that today. I just want to kind of show you what the process is and how we were able to get to this point. All right. So let's do this. We have our seeds that are soaking. All right. Next thing I want to do is my first transplant. Now I've got to get some soil. We're going to be using these. Let me just go grab a quick bag of soil. All right, don't run away on me. I'm just going off camera 1 second. Grab myself a bag of soil so that we can take those little seedlings there and do our first transplant. All right? And trust me, this is going to be giving your plants the absolute best. Now, if you went into the nursery and you bought plants that were the size of they're grown already, they're going to cost you like $11, $12 for each one. All right, it's crazy. You know, this is starting from seed was so much less expensive. All right, and I can get everything I need and more. All right, so we're going to start with this. Okay, we're taking one of these. I'm going to use one of them as a scoop. All right, I have some indoor potting mix. You can use indoor potting mix for this stage. All right, it's soft. It encourages growth. All right, and I've used it and it works. So what we're going to do is we're going to take one of these and we're only going to put a little bit of soil in it. Okay, we got a couple of these. We're just going to add some soil to this. And it's going to go pretty quick. So I have 6 plants that are right here. These are peppers. Now I took these cayenne peppers. Some of you guys saw it. I took a cayenne pepper that was in my garden through the winter and dried out. Okay? Look at them. I took one pepper and took the seeds out of it. And this is what we got. All right? This is so helpful and it's very satisfying. It's so satisfying that from my garden, you know? I don't know. I guess you have to, it's like anything else. I guess you got to acquire a taste for it, a flavor for it. Now I'm just putting a little bit of soil in each one of these. Not a lot, just a little bit, okay? Because I'm going to put that seed pack in each one of these. I'm just putting a little soil on the bottom. All right? Now we were working today. We did some mulching today. I did my rototilling earlier today on another platform. We were live. But we're going to be going back and forth, and then maybe tonight we're going to be cooking. And when I get done here, I've got to go shower. I've got to go to the store. So we may do alive. I'm going to try to do it on both platforms if I can. And I'm trying to be fancy here, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to, but I'm going to try. All right, so let's take our cell pack right here. Okay, it's got 3 little plants in it, which is fine. And I'm actually going to put a little bit more soil because it's not that big. Okay, all right, got some soil in here. I'm just pushing this down on here, and this is biodegradable. So you can plant this right in the ground. It's not plastic, it's biodegradable. All right, if you want to. Now, I probably won't because I'll probably be transplanting this again as well, but it depends on the time of how the weather changes and how big this grows by that time. All right, so all I'm doing now is, all I did. All right, I'm giving it room. I don't want to bring the soil all the way to the top. All right, I want it to have some room. And that's it. That will get strong like this. Okay? So we've gone from this right here, this little cell pack, to one of these, and that went to here. All right? So let's finish these off. Okay, I got another one right here. Put a little bit more soil. Take the cell pack, whole cell pack goes right in. Okay? Let's get some. Now I'm not worried. All you got to do is kind of shake it around and get it off of the leaves, the soil. Okay? Use your fingers, all right? Because they're very delicate. They're still very, very delicate. You could actually wait until these got bigger, but I kind of wanted to put a little, I wanted to show you. So, all right? This really could have waited longer before I transplanted it, but it's not going to hurt it. Trust me. All right? See this one, all the roots coming out of it? This is definitely ready. That's what I look for, the root system. Okay? Because the root system, now that is going to grow real quick in here. Okay? We're giving it more soil to grow. And as this gets bigger, it's going to do the same thing. I'm just using this as a scoop right now, okay? Putting that in. Now you look at it and you go, oh no, you just smothered your plant. No, just tap it. Okay? Push down around it. Be careful you don't break your branches. And just make sure that that's it, okay? So we got 2 done, 3 done. All right, I got 3 more I want to do here. And then we're going to go to the next stage. I'm going to show you. Okay. What you're really doing is just giving this plant more room to grow. All right, more room for the root system. The root system is everything. It's everything, okay? Okay, thank you, Chris. Yeah, listen, if you're on here and, you know, this is, we have a pretty established group of people that come on our live. It's not for everybody. And if you're not a person that likes to be positive, loving, encouraging, you're probably in the wrong spot, all right? Because this family, that's what we're all about, all right? And that's what we do. We care about one another. And, you know, even like language and things of that nature, I'm a street guy, all right? But in my home is my sanctuary, all right? I've taught my children that you don't speak a certain way, and you're in the house, you're respectful. You go out the door, I don't care what you do, all right? Because you know one thing, you learned at home what's right and what's wrong. So for those of you that are coming into this live and you're not all about being respectful, or you haven't been taught that at home, then just swipe away. Go to the next person. You don't need to be here. All right? But if you are here, then I say to you, hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. All right? Because that's where you're at. You're with a family that is positive, encouraging, that's loving on each other, and that respects one another. I respect you, and you respect me. All right? And that's how it goes. You're in the street, it's a different story. Uncle Glenn has a very loose tongue when he's in the street, but not when I'm here. So hopefully you can respect that and appreciate that. And I don't need to say, people are going to come in here and they're going to do their thing. You know why? Because they're going to say, look at me. Hey, forget about what you're seeing here. Look at me. Hear what I'm saying? It's all about ego to them. So I'm just telling you how I handle my home. And when you're on my channel here, it's my home. And it's my family's home. And I can tell you right now, this family ain't going to put up with it. Am I right or wrong? Anybody? Huh? All right. Now tonight we're going to be cooking. All right? Tonight we're going to be cooking. I don't know what we're going to make yet. All right? I got one more. This is this one right here. I'm going to take this. I got to take some of the soil out real quick. All right, it's going right in. Soil around it. What's nice about doing it outside, I was doing this inside. All right, Mama, yeah, she was losing it. But I had a plastic bag on my table, so, All right, we did it. All right, now I just take a muffin tin, like that, just to keep it secure. When I water it, I don't have to worry about it. That's it. All right, now we're gonna let these grow, and we're gonna let these get like this. Okay, and then these now, we're gonna transplant again so that they're able to get bigger and bigger. So when they go in the ground, they're gonna be strong plants. All right, I'll show you how I'm gonna do it. I'll be watering all of these later on, not now. All right, so let's go to the next stage. First, I gotta have a sip of coffee. For those of you that know me, I drink my coffee. So I drink it black, I stir it. Why? Because I put coffee grinds in here. Now you hear the sirens? You're gonna hear that. It's not that noisy today. But sometimes when you hear in my garden, forget about it. You're gonna hear noise, lots of it. Love my coffee. All right, next. All right, now we're gonna use different soil for this. I'm not using my potting starting mix, my indoor potting mix. I'm not using that, all right? I'm using a different potting mix. Why? Because now that this has the potting mix in it, the plant is strong enough and healthy enough that I can give it a little bit of a stronger soil, so to speak, meaning that it has more nutrients in it. There's more nitrogen in here, okay, which the nitrogen helps your root system, all right? And so we're gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna use one of these as a cup, okay? I'm gonna take this plant right here, this pot, okay? A little bit of soil on the bottom. Now, here's what you got to do. All right, you see the plant? When you're ready to transplant, see the roots coming out already? That means it's all root bound already. So when you go to transplant, There's usually 2, 1, 2. You want to take this off. Let me get a different one that's a little bigger so I can show you what I mean. All right. First of all, I want you to look and see if you can see the hairs that are on that stem. See all those hairs? Can you see the hairs that are on there? Anyone? If you look closely, it almost looks like it's glowing. Those are just hairs. All right? Those hairs become roots if they're in the soil. And the roots are what takes all the nutrients out of the soil, and that's what's going to enable your plant to be strong. So, what I'm going to do first, we got to do a little pruning right here. So we're going to take these 2 bottom leaves. Don't worry, you're not hurting your plant. All right? I'm going to take this one here, the big one. See those 2 leaves over there? They're coming off. I'm going to pinch this right off. Okay, 1 and 2. You're not hurting it. You're actually stressing it a little bit so it's stronger. Okay, I'm doing the same thing with this one. 1, these little ones, and 2. Okay, 1 and 2. All right, now, something about the fact that there's 3 plants in here. We could take this one out and just discard it if you want, all right? Because I could take these 2 when they grow and secure them together on the base, but you have to prune it, and you have to stake it, and you have to care for it. If you just let it go, they're going to fall over and break. Okay? So I think with this one, we're going to remove that other plant. All right? Sorry. I kind of hurt. It kind of makes me feel bad, but sorry. All right? I'm putting it right in here. We took the stems off. Now we're going to fill this with soil. All right? I could use mine. And we're going to go around that just like we did the other one. All right, we're going to do the same exact thing. All right, put it around. We're enabling this to break down and to grow stronger roots. That's the purpose of this. All right, that's the purpose. And if the weather was nice, I could go right in the ground with it. Even though it's a nice day today, the temperature has to be maintained, all right? We can't get a frost on this because it'll put the plant into shock. So I'm keeping this inside for another probably at least another week. Okay? Now actually I want to go deeper right there. I'm pulling the whole thing out again. Didn't hurt it. Okay? I'm going deeper in. Yeah. Because I want to get as much soil around the stem as I can. All right? Why? Because that's where the roots are. That's where the roots are going to grow. All right? You got to keep it about an inch off of the soil. But once I water this is going to go down quite a bit. All right? And there it is. Done. All right? Now these are celebrity tomatoes. There's different ones. I have celebrities, I have beefsteaks, I have early girls. Now, I will tell you this, for those of you that don't know it already. If you go to the nursery or you're going to get seeds, it's very, very important you get the right tomato plant for what you're doing. If you are growing your tomatoes in a container, or big container, small container, whatever it is, on your patio or in your raised garden, you gotta make sure you get determinate tomatoes. Not indeterminate, determinate. What does that mean? Determinate means that the plant is already got a determined size that it's going to grow, and it has the determined amount of fruit that it's going to produce. Okay? That's what a determinate tomato plant is. If you're growing your tomatoes in a garden that you're going to be staking, you're going to be securing, you're going to be pruning, then you want to buy indeterminate tomatoes. What does that mean? It means that it's going to grow indeterminately as big as you allow it to with your help. But you could put determinate tomatoes in your garden as well. Can you? Yes, you absolutely can. But it's still only going to grow a determinate size, and you're only going to have a determined amount of fruit. They're less work because you don't have to prune them. All you have to do is stake them and water them and treat them right. That's it. Okay? That makes sense or no? All right. Let's get another one of these babies. All right? Put a little soil on the bottom. Now, once these are ready, I won't water these. These are going to be big. They'll probably be about that big before they go in the ground. All right? And if I went to the store, it cost me $10 for that. Hey, no digging. No more digging. I know you dig a lot of holes there. All right, no more. You hear me? All right. But they're going to be big. I'm going to have a real jump on my garden when this goes in the ground. All right? So I put a little soil on the bottom. All right? What are we doing here? We're going to do the same thing. All right? I'm going to take this one out. I have 2 plants here. So I'm removing this right here. I'm going to snap that off of my fingers. I go right here. It's very tender. I don't need a scissor right now. But once these get big, then I'll be getting sterilized scissors that I keep clean, and I'll be pruning with that. But right now I could just use my fingers. All right, going in here, like that. Remember, you saw the hairs on there. The hairs on there are going to be roots if I cover them with soil. So I'm going all the way down there, and I'm going to add the soil to that, right there. Okay? Now, I'm not going to bore you by doing all of this, all of these together. I'm going to continue doing this on my own. I just want to show you the different stages of how this is done, okay? And for those of you that are gardening, or you're gardening for the first time, I'm going to tell you this. If you've never done it before, get yourself 1 plant. 1. You don't need a big garden. 1. Take that 1 plant, whether it's an herb, a tomato, a cucumber, and just care for it. All right? Just care for it. And then I'm going to tell you the satisfaction that you will get watching that plant grow, and then being able to pick from it and eat the fruit or use the herb is going to be so satisfying to you that you did it. You took it. All right? It's very similar to me. This gardening is, for me, a very spiritual thing. I've learned so much about myself from gardening. All right? I learned that at a very early age. My dad, when I was about 7 years old, had a garden, just tomatoes. And he had probably 30 plants, 30 tomato plants. And he took me outside. He said, "Son, come here." And he brought me over to one of the plants that was in the ground. And he said, "See that? That's yours." Oh, I said, "Oh, thanks, Dad. What do I do?" And he said, well, you could either figure it out, you could watch me, but whether it lives or dies is going to be up to you. So I had a sense of responsibility for that one plant that I never knew. I didn't know what responsibility was. I didn't know what it was to care for something. And I learned that at a very young age. And in the mornings, when I forgot, my dad would say, hey, did you go out and check your plant? Might be hungry. Might be thirsty. When you get up in the morning, are you hungry? Are you thirsty? I went out and I used to water it. And I didn't know much about pruning, so I didn't do any pruning. I just let it grow. And then I saw my dad on his knees one day, and he's picking the things around it. I go, I'm watching him. I go, why are you killing those plants? And he said, son, those are weeds. The weeds are going to suck the nutrients out of your plant. It's going to take away all of the strength from your plant. He said, so you want to clear those out so that your plant can have the best chance of producing the best fruit that it can. And as the years went on, as I got on my knees, which I still do to this day, and I go to take care of my plant, and I see the weeds, it makes me think about my own skeletons, my own sins, my own weeds in my life that sometimes I let grow out of control. And it sucked the nutrients right out of me. It took away a lot of what I could have accomplished. All right? And I do that to this day. And I think about when things that I'm doing that I'm not supposed to do, I think about, that's a weed in my life. Do I want to let that grow? Or do I want to try to get rid of it? And a lot of times, while I'm on my knees pulling the weeds out, I ask my God, my Lord, to help me and to give me strength and to give me the wisdom. So, just a little thing about what happens and why I do what I do. Yeah, I'm going to plant here when it's warmer. Even though it's a warm day, and yesterday was a warm day, and tomorrow is going to be a warm day, the temperature at nighttime is still going to get in the frosting temperatures, in the 40s. I don't want my plants to go into shock. Not my tomatoes, not my cucumbers, not my peppers, not my zucchini. If you have plants that are lettuces, broccoli, spinach, they can tolerate that. They can tolerate, the 30s. They thrive in it. I'm going to show you something. All right? I'll show you what lasted all winter. There was tons of snow and a really, really cold winter. All right? This is parsley. I didn't do anything to it. It survived. Okay? Here's another one. It survived. This is oregano. Now, oregano is a perennial. It comes back, but it survives. There's another one back there. Now, I'll show you the rosemary. You're going to look at it and go, oh, that's dead. Okay, look at that. See that rosemary plant? That rosemary plant is not dead. And the reason I know it is because when I snap the branches, they're green, which means it still has life. This will most likely come back, and it's going to come back big and strong. All right? This right here is a sage plant. Okay? Survived the winter. This right here is catnip. Okay, that's for my cats. It's a perennial. It'll come back. This right here is garlic. Garlic will survive in cold weather, will grow, no problem. This is another garlic. And there's mint right here. That will grow. That will survive. That's a perennial. So mint, a lot of people will say, don't put it in your garden. It's going to overtake your garden, just like strawberry will. And they're right, unless you take care of it. Now, I'm allowing this to grow like I do every year. And what I do is I root around a certain area and I let it grow. I let it root, and then I kill the roots that are going outside of the perimeter that I allowed it to go into. All right? So it's all about you and how you're caring for your garden. Okay? So here's these little seedlings that are just starting to sprout. Now that right there is thyme, the herb thyme. This right here is basil, German basil. Okay? These are ready to transplant. I'll be doing that today. Now here's the seeds that I was showing you. All right? This is basil seed right here. All right? Let's take a look at this. There's floating ones on the top that I'm going to get rid of. They're probably dead. But if you notice, I'm going to show you this, and I'm going to show you what it looked like prior to me putting it in there. All right? Just want to show you what the seed looked like. I don't know if you can see that black seed right there. Okay, you see the black seed? That one right there? That was the seed, the basil seed, before it went into the chamomile tea water. All right? Look at it now. Can you see how the coating on the outside of the seed has softened up? It almost looks like it's in an embryo. All right? It's softened up, and it's going to be ready for me to plant it. The ones that are on the top that are floating, I'm going to get rid of those because they're most likely dead. All right? So, does any of that make sense or no? Any of that make sense to anybody? Were you able to see it? Just seeing if I have any comments here. Huh? Yeah, okay. Oh, we're going to have a good garden, I promise you. We're going to have a real nice garden this year. You know, look at the puppy dog just digging himself a little hole. He's enjoying the soft dirt, the soft soil, all right? Right next to that catnip, all right? Come here. Let's say hello. All right. All right. I'm probably, if anybody has any questions, I'll be happy to answer them. Aside from that, I don't know whether or not we're going to, let me see here. If we get cooking tonight, are you guys going to join me or not? All right. All right. Well, what I'm going to do now, we've been on for about 54 minutes. I'm going to do a little bit more planting. And I have to then go to the store. I don't know what I'm cooking yet for dinner. Nothing elaborate. Probably just a regular dinner. But I would love to be with the family. And I hope that we have some new family members here. We went from 200 in May of last year to 38,000 and change on one of our other platforms. And we're going to do the same thing right here. So if you're new here, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, and say hello to Uncle Glenn. You know, I'd love to be able to respond to you and you know, I want you to be part of this growing community that we have, because it's a good place, and it's a place you can be proud of. Place you can bring your children, you can not worry, all right? And if we have people that are on here that aren't the way that the mood of our family here, then I would encourage them to swipe on and go on a different live. But if you're here and you like what we do, then you gotta do yourself a favor, and me and this family, and hit that subscribe button. All right, would you do that for me? I would appreciate it. Alrighty? It's now New York time. We're at about 2:37. Do you guys want to hang out with me as I do some more transplanting, or you just want to catch the live later? Let me know. Anybody? Lisa? I see you guys. These messages keep disappearing over here, though. That's the only thing. There's got to be a way. Lots of plants, yeah. Vicky, yeah, there is a lot. I'm here. It's Mezzo! Yeah, yeah. I'm hanging out. J.R. J. Ribby, Junior Ribby, I think it is. Hey, how many people are on here? I don't even know. I can't tell. I can't tell who's on here. Yeah. See, this platform works a little bit differently. So I have automatic moderator on here right now. It's kind of like sifting through some of the spam, and you know, it's taking out some of it. It's hiding some of the chat messages. But if you are, you know, as long as the messages are coming through loud and clear that are good, I'm really happy about that. But I think that we're going to call it a day here for now. And I have a lot that I got to do. I got to finish all this up. I've been going since early this morning, for those of you that know. All right? And, oh, look at that. Oh, yeah. You guys are still here, huh? All right, Darlene and Lisa and JR and Real Good. That's my mezzo. Ah, yeah. All right. Was at the gym. Ah, that's where I need to be, right? I got my exercise today, I can tell you that. And I'm not done yet. So, all right. Anybody have any questions or want to see anything in particular? Other than that, I think that I'm just going to end this live for now and finish my planting. And we'll get together later on, all right? So if I'm on here, I'm going to schedule it. If I'm on the other platform, I'm going to schedule it, and it probably won't be until about 5:30 Eastern Standard Time. But I'll be looking for you, and I'll see you all later on, God willing.